At the surface, the ocean feels familiar. Light dances. Waves breathe. Life follows rules we understand. But slip beneath that fragile skin of sunlight, and the ocean unlearns everything you know. Color dies first. Sound thickens like it's drowning. Time stretches, and meaning starts to fade. Down here, the rules that govern life at the surface don't just bend, they break. In this endless night, evolution doesn't craft beauty. It doesn't care about balance. It doesn't follow comfort. It creates survival at any cost. And in the darkness, something waits. Still, silent, watching. A living trap, glowing in the black. This is the anglerfish. By surface standards, it should not exist. The deep ocean begins where sunlight gives up, around 200 meters below the surface. Down here, light doesn't fade. It dies. Go deeper, and darkness becomes absolute and permanent. No plants. No photosynthesis. No steady source of food. No warmth. This is a world where life bends or breaks, and the anglerfish thrives. The water turns brutally cold, near freezing. Always, pressure closes in from every direction, hundreds of times stronger than at the surface. Enough to crush steel, enough to crush bone. In this world, survival isn't about speed. It isn't about strength. It's about waiting. Every movement costs energy. Every mistake costs life. And food is never guaranteed. It's only hoped for. The single condition, endless hunger, reshapes every creature that survives here, including one of the ocean's strangest hunters, the anglerfish. At first glance, it looks unfinished, like evolution lost interest halfway through. Its body is soft, almost collapsing under its own weight. No protective scales. Muscles that seem too weak to matter. At the surface, this body wouldn't survive a second. It would fail instantly. But the deep ocean plays by different rules. Down here, pressure replaces bone. The water itself supports the body. Rigid skeletons are a liability. They cost energy. They resist the pressure, and pressure always wins. Soft tissue bends. Soft tissue survives. The anglerfish is not weak. It is perfectly adapted to a world that would crush anything rigid. The anglerfish isn't badly built. It's perfectly built for a world that crushes anything stiff, anything strong. And then there's the mouth. Too large, too wide, stretching beyond what seems physically possible. In the deep, you don't hunt what you want. You take what comes to you. The next meal might arrive in minutes, or not for weeks. Sometimes months. So when food finally appears, there is no choice. No hesitation. Miss once, and you may never eat again. Which leaves a terrifying question. What kind of world forces life to go to such extremes just to survive a single bite? And yet, hunger is only part of the challenge. In total darkness, sight becomes a lie. Eyes stop being reliable. So the anglerfish does something no surface animal could ever manage. It manufactures light. From its head hangs a tiny glow, a pulsing bulb, a living lantern in an ocean that will never see sunrise. But this light is not beauty. It is not hope. It is a trap. It's a weapon. Drifting creatures in the black mistake it for food, for warmth, for safety. They follow the glow and never see what's waiting behind it. The light itself comes from bioluminescent bacteria, living inside the lure. The anglerfish doesn't just use light. It farms it. Two forms of life fuse into a partnership forged entirely in darkness. And somehow, this living lamp can be dimmed, brightened, controlled, with terrifying precision. Scientists still can't fully explain how such a relationship began, or how evolution perfected living light in a place where a single mistake means starvation or death. Because down here, light doesn't reveal the truth. It hides it. And as unsettling as the anglerfish may appear, its reproduction is even harder to comprehend. In the deep ocean, finding a mate is nearly impossible. The darkness is endless. Individuals are scattered across vast, unforgiving distances. You could live your entire life and never encounter another of your kind. So evolution did something unthinkable. It deletes romance. In some anglerfish species, the male is tiny, microscopic compared to the female. So small, he barely even looks like the same animal. When he finally finds her, he doesn't court her. He doesn't leave. He bites. And then he fuses. His jaw locks into her flesh. Their bodies merge. His organs dissolve. His eyes shrink. His heart, his independence, his identity, all vanish. What remains is not a partner, not a mate, but a biological attachment, a living organ, a permanent source of sperm. To us, this is horror, a loss of self, a nightmare of evolution. To the deep sea, it's efficiency. This single, shocking adaptation solves an impossible equation. How do you reproduce when you may encounter another of your kind only once in a lifetime? Even now, scientists debate how such an extreme system could evolve step by step without ever failing. In the deep ocean, what feels monstrous is sometimes just survival perfected. Because in the deep sea, what looks like a nightmare is often just a perfect solution to absolute loneliness. Everything about the anglerfish is shaped not by what exists, but by what doesn't. No sunlight, no abundance, no certainty of tomorrow. Every part of its body is a calculation, energy conserved, movement minimized, nothing wasted. Its mouth doesn't hunt. It waits. Its light doesn't illuminate. It manipulates curiosity itself. We call the anglerfish unnatural because we judge it by surface rules, by a world of warmth, color, and excess. But the deep ocean doesn't care about beauty. It has no sense of balance, no concern for comfort. It rewards only one thing, survival. And when survival is pushed to the extreme, life stops trying to look familiar. It begins to look like the truth. Waterway Blackheart. We've mapped more of the moon than the depths of our own ocean, a place where shadows rule, and the rules of life are written in darkness, where the anglerfish waits, a reminder that the universe beneath the waves is as alien as any world beyond the STA. Most of this planet still exists beyond our sight. Down there, evolution tells stories we find hard to accept. Not because they're wrong, but because they're honest. The anglerfish is not a monster. It's a message. A reminder that when life is stripped of light, of warmth, of abundance, it doesn't vanish. It changes. It adapts in ways that feel unsettling, unfamiliar, almost impossible. And as long as vast darkness covers our world, there will always be forms of life that challenge our idea of what natural means, waiting just beyond our understanding. Because nothing about the anglerfish feels natural, only because nothing about the deep ocean is. Waterway Blackheart.